than $100 million. That's how much the state expects to bring in from the recreational marijuana industry in this coming fiscal year, a figure far higher than initially expected. We learned of that number this week. The first $40 million will go towards school construction, and Governor John Hickenlooper says between now and 2015, he wants to put $85 million towards keeping marijuana out of the hands of kids and treating substance abuse. 9 News reporter Lindsay Watts checked with marijuana businesses today, all who say this has potential to be a billion-dollar industry and one that will keep growing.
Yeah, that's right. And while plenty of Coloradans are contributing to state coffers by buying marijuana, a good part of that $100 million in tax revenue is generated by tourists. I talked to people in the pot industry who say they continue to see faces from all over the country and the world here specifically for Colorado cannabis.
Real gentle puff.
It's not all about blowing smoke.
And we want to keep rotating until it becomes rigid.
Colorado's marijuana industry is lighting up in more ways than one.
The glass blowing was beautiful. I was so stunned because I'd never experienced anything like that before.
This is one of the stops on the Colorado Cannabis Tour. On this day, 11 tourists boarded the limo.
Everybody's from all over, Texas, Florida, Missouri.
Here for one reason.
We probably wouldn't have come to Colorado if it hadn't been for that.
As the name of this pot shop they visited suggests, discreet is what they're after. No one wanted to reveal their name or face.
So it was close enough that we could drive and far enough so that maybe it wouldn't get back to where we're from.
The owner of the tour company says in the 7.5 weeks since January 1, the small business he started,
I would say our website clicks are up to 9,000 per month.
Is getting more attention by the day.
People used to fly all the way to Amsterdam to do this. A lot of people are canceling those trips. So not only is that money coming to Colorado, but that money is staying inside of the United States.
And I got you at 1817.
At the Medicine Man dispensary.
Perfect. You're allowed up to your ounce.
Employees say the lines might not be as long as on January 1st, but they're still there.
4307.
And a nice chunk of what people are spending goes right to the government.
We plan on doing probably $10 million this year, so you could take that 36.22%, that's the total tax, excise and taxes, and multiply that out.
I'm gonna get it warm.
An industry that's the first of its kind in the world. And whether it'll be a billion-dollar business,
They look good.
well, it's a learning experience for all of us.
And finally, our last step is going to be to take it off with these claws.
The cartels never released quarterly reports, so nobody knows what the demand of marijuana in the United States actually is.
Governor Hickenlooper is at a national meeting with other governors this weekend, and he's actually telling them don't jump into legalization. He's been quoted as saying that the millions in tax revenue cannabis is expected to bring in is absolutely the wrong reason to even think about legalizing recreational marijuana. So I thought that was interesting, Corey. Of course, Hickenlooper was against legalization to begin with, and it sounds like he's still not totally convinced.
It's so interesting because so many states are looking towards Colorado because we're kind of setting the pace for this, and they see that number and they're like, wow, we want to look into it a little more, but he's saying don't look at the money.
Yeah, and hold off, and perhaps, I'm sure, giving them the negatives, the things that they should think about before doing this solely for the cash.
All right, Lindsay Watts, thank you so much. Appreciate it.